Is it music? Here we go, number one. It's birds. Okay. Bird song. Bird song. Pause it there. So is it music? Well, what I think it is bird language. And I think language is a very important part of what makes music. If you just say words like I am now, is it necessarily music? No. But if you factor in things like rhythm, cadence, inflection, repetition, then you have song, which I think is what most of bird language is. So do I think that it is necessarily music? Sure. Yeah, I do. Alright, I'm gonna stop it right there. Is it music? Yeah, it's music. Drumming was one of the first instruments. Percussion was one of the first instruments. One day, someone started going, banging on a rock or tree, and someone was like, hey, yeah, I can move to that. All right. So is it music? Yeah, of course it's music. It's a green cicada. Is it music? I have actually used cicadas in a recording before, in crickets. A lot of people, I guess, would think crickets would be more rhythmic, but I've used it in music. Okay, number 4. It's a Raymond goat. Okay. Is that music? Oh. Well, I actually do a lot of screaming in some of my music. You know, there are a lot of very hardcore bands that scream. So, is it music? Can be. I scream a lot. I call it music. Why not? Okay, is this number 5? Too many zoos. Car alarm. I hear that a lot in my neighborhood. Okay. Heck yeah. Or others. Oh yeah, I'm digging this. This is pretty good. Too many zoos. They just got a new fan. Alright. Very good. Alright, I'm going to stop it there. I only listened to it so long because I actually really liked it. I'll probably pause this video after and listen to the rest of it. Is that music? Yeah, It's music. I mean, they're using the car alarm basically as a timekeeper. What's wrong with that? You can make anything do that. So it's still music. Yeah. This is number 7. This is also a lawnmower. So 6 and 7, lawnmowers. Are they music? Well, I definitely don't hear a lawnmower and think the song of the lawnmower. It's not something that people would normally really consider music, but neither is a car alarm. Could somebody use it to maybe keep time and build off of that? Is it music in and of itself? That's a tough one because there's no consistent, rhythm and beat. But I guess you could argue that with the whirling of the engine, that it's continuous. You could make it into music. Is it music on its own? I think almost anything can be music. Is it music? I don't know what that is. Which, I know a lot about cultural instruments, and I don't know that one. Shame on me. Is that music? Yeah, it's music. I feel like there are a lot of people who would say, no, it's not, because especially, a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world, because they're only familiar with their particular kinds of music and instruments, so they might hear that and go, what is that? That isn't music. But those people are miserable, and I feel bad for them. So this one is a baby. Recording of a baby. People love their babies. This is kind of great, honestly. Alright. I'm gonna stop it right there. Its face is pretty cute, to be honest. Is it music? Yeah, I think it's kind of unbelievable that someone took the time to painstakingly piece this together out of footage of their baby and, work it out like that. Is it music? Yeah, it's music. Right, number 10? 10. I have these partially covered up so I can't see them. I'm surprised. Turn up a bit. Bamboo wind chimes. Right. Is it music? Well, I've been to many DIY shows where some guy would wander around the room clanking these, reciting a poem about cheese and banging a wooden spoon against the wall. So I guess some people could make music out of it. Sure. It's a bird banging away on the piano. He looks very elegant. He looks like a Baroque bird pianist. The piano actually means soft. And there's nothing soft about the way this bird is playing the piano. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying Baroque Bird Pianist. Is it music? I jam with that bird. Yeah, I jam with him. I know, there is, I'm gonna stop this. There is a metal band, and I think they're called Deathbeak, but their vocalist is a parrot. They obviously don't play live shows because, you know, bird would get really scared. But yeah, I think Deathbeak, I think. So that's pretty cool. Okay, it looks like this is our last one, so here it goes. So it looks like I'm not the only one that wanted to jam with that bird. Mm-hmm. Is it music? Yes. And I just want to say how this began with just birds singing and ended with a Baroque bird pianist bashing on a toy piano and a lot of other people jamming with the bird. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for this. So, is it music? Were all those things music? I think that you can find music in anything. You know, I'm an unusual person to ask this question because I will put the sound of me banging a flip-flop off of an oil drum into a song, or I'll put bugs into a song. Birds, who knows? Maybe I'll use birds next. But I always try to manipulate the world around me and create music in very different and adventurous ways. So I always encourage other people to do that too, and to kind of try to hear music in everything, like the people with the car alarm. I've heard that so many times in my neighborhood. Have I ever thought to record a car alarm and, play some awesome trumpet over it? No, mostly because I don't play the trumpet. But I think that you can turn anything into music, and it's more fun to figure out what you can make into music rather than just rejecting the idea of exploration in music.